Shortstops, Fantasy Baseball 2012, Nameco and Dustin here. Getting excited for the season. In this video, we'll be going over the tiers and rankings for the shortstops. Before we get into it, on the site, we'll have all of our rankings, and certainly check out all our videos. And we got our first guy, and he's in a tier all by himself, and that's Tulowitzki. Guy's just a beast, batting over 300, 30 jacks. Love that out of your shortstop position. And you might be wondering, well, why is he the only guy there? Where's Hanley? Well, we got Hanley ranked in the third base guy in video. Why? Because he's going to be playing third base this year.
What a concept.
What a concept.
Tier 2, still a lot of talent here and a lot of speed as well. We start out with Elvis. Great year last year. Still looking for a little bit more pop. We'd like to see him up at least double digits in home runs, but we could see that happening this year. We think he's going to continue to get better and hopefully bat for over 300 this year as well. Next, we got Starlin Castro. Surprisingly great year for him last year. We thought he would do well, but we didn't think he'd do this well. Had over 200 hits, double-digit home runs. He was over 20 stolen bases, and he batted over 300. We love the upside here. We expect him to continue to go up as well. And the last guy in this tier is Jose Reyes. We moved him down because we're not completely buying his numbers from last year. 337 batting average is well above his career average. He doesn't really have that much home run pop anymore. He is going to still get some steals, but we think he's a potentially overvalued player this year, so that's why we have him at the bottom of Tier 2.
Tier 3 starts off with Asdrubal Cabrera of the Cleveland Indians. We really like this guy. He's going to get a decent average, going to get you pop, going to get you bags. He does have Tier 1 potential, so note that when drafting. Next on the list, we got old man Jimmy Rollins. It's all about health with him, but when healthy, he's always played pretty well, and if he gets on base, plenty of guys are going to be able to knock him in, so that run total should certainly be good this year. And then rounding out this tier is D. Gordon. You're not going to get many RBIs, many home runs, but you are going to get a ton of speed, a ton of bags with D. Gordon this year.
At number 8, starting off Tier 4, we have Eric Ibar. Career year last year with stolen bases, he had 30. He's not going to really blow you out of the water with anything else, but you got to love getting a guy that late that can steal you over 30 bags. Next, we got Stephen Drew. He has a lot of hype around him during his whole career. Hasn't quite completely lived up to it. But last year in limited at-bats, he only had 5 home runs, but he did have 45 RBIs. Maybe this is the year he finally puts it all together. Next, Alexi Ramirez. Kind of the same with Stephen Drew. He's had a lot of hype around him. He's had some decent years, but still hasn't really had that huge breakout year. But with Alexi, you're going to get decent numbers all the way across. At number 11, old man Derek Jeter. He's just getting to that point in his career. He's definitely on the way out. His batting average was way down last year, but there's definitely the potential of him turning that around. And the last guy in this tier, J.J. Hardy. 30 home runs. We're not completely believing that. Now, he has had decent power totals in the past, but after a couple of years of just mediocrity before last year, not completely buying it, but there is definitely potential there.
Tier 5 starts off with Desmond and Escobar of the Nationals and Royals, respectively. The reason I'm pairing them together, they're pretty much the same thing. Young guys that probably haven't hit their ceiling yet, but they don't have a great average. They don't have a huge pop, but they do get you the bags, so they're coupled together. Then at number 15, we have Johnny Peralta. Batted almost 300 last year, gave you 21 home runs, and certainly that lineup, he's going to have some opportunities to drive in some runs. And then rounding out this tier is Jed Lowry. He's a really interesting player for us. When he was out there with Boston, he would string together some pretty productive kind of moments or stretches, but he never got a full shot. This is the first year he does it, but due to that, we can't rank him much higher at this point.
Moving into our last tier, we start with Zach Cozart of the Reds. He was starting to put up together a decent year last year, and then he got hurt. He'd only had 37 at-bats, but batted 324, 2 home runs during that stretch. He should be completely healthy for spring training and ready to be the starting shortstop for the Reds. Interesting player you can get really late. Next, we got Jason Bartlett. His days of being a top 10 shortstop are over, but he can still give you a little bit of speed that you can grab really late. Next, at number 19, we got Yuniel Escobar. Nothing really crazy about him as far as his stats go, but he is decent all the way across the board. Solid shortstop. And the last guy we're going to talk about, Rafael Furcal. He is 35 years old. Batting average is way down last year, but he still does have the potential to bat for average and throw in some bags.
So there you have it. Those are the shortstops. Of course, if you want to log on onto our site, fantasysmacktalk.com, ask us any questions in the forums, whether it's about keepers or how you did in your draft. We love answering all of those. And check out all of our other videos.
Derek Jeter in Tier 4.
Oh, man.
Old man.
He is old.